Hey everyone, this week is pretty light when it comes to new game releases, but there are still a few notable titles worth mentioning. We got a remaster of a classic PS1 game, a PS port of one of PlayStation's greatest IPs, and two games making their way to Apple Arcade. Let's dive in. Croc Legend of the Gobbus is back after 28 years. The remaster of this classic 1997 platformer brings enhanced visuals and a new feature called the Crocopedia, a digital archive of behind-the-scenes content. Originally planned for 2024, the game was delayed for extra polish. Now it's officially confirmed to launch on April 2nd for all platforms. I remember playing this game as a kid, and man, this remaster is hitting all the right nostalgia buttons. For me, from Croc's adorable waddling through those challenging platforming sections, this was one of my first big 3D platformers. Seeing it get a fresh coat of paint while keeping the charm of the original is exactly what I was hoping for. If you grew up with the Croc or just love classic platformers, this one is definitely worth checking out when it drops on April 2nd. I think the price is fair for what's being offered, but honestly, I wish it was closer to $30. For a remaster of an old school platformer, a slightly lower price would have made it an easier pick for more people. The Last of Us Part 2 remaster is finally coming to PC, bringing Naughty Dog's brutal sequel to Steam and the Epic Games Store. This version includes all PS5 enhancements like 4K fidelity mode, a 1440p performance mode, the roguelike no return mode, and developer commentary. It also features the Lost Levels, playable cut content from the original game. Developed alongside Nixxes and Iron Galaxy, the PC port supports DualSense haptics and include graphical improvements. The Last of Us Part 2 remaster releases for PC on April 3rd for $49.99. Of course, we can't talk about The Last of Us Part 2 without mentioning the controversy. The game had one of the most divisive stories in gaming history, with fans split over its direction, especially what happened to Joel early on. But whether you loved or hated the story, it's still an incredible well-made game with top-tier gameplay, stunning visuals, and an emotional narrative. If you can get past the shocking moments and accept the journey the game takes you on, there's still a great story underneath all the controversy. Space Invaders Infinity Gene Evolve is the latest evolution of the classic arcade shooter, transforming from a retro 2D into a cutting-edge 3D experience as you play. It features over 100 challenge stages, guest ships from Durius and Raystorm, and a burst counterattack mechanic. You can switch between classic and bullet hell modes on the fly, with no ads or in-app purchases, just pure arcade action. It comes out April 3rd on Apple Arcade. Man, this takes me back. I remember playing the original Space Invaders on my little controller with my cousin, spending hours dodging these pixelated aliens. Seeing how far the game has evolved is wild, and this new version looks like a fresh, action-packed way to experience it all over again. Comes out on April 3rd. Releasing April 3rd exclusively on Apple Arcade, Katamari Damacy Rolling Live is the first new entry in 7 years. It keeps the classic roll everything up gameplay while adding social features. You're rolling to energize the King's livestream. As you play, in-game fans react, and a growing audience unlocks new stages. The game features whimsical visuals, quirky challenges, and a genre-blending soundtrack. It's classic Karatama with a streaming twist. Get rolling. That's it for my video. Let me know down in the comments if you're planning to pick up any of these titles. I might have grabbed Croc if it was a little cheaper, but I've already got a pretty big backlog of games to get through. If you enjoyed my video, please give it a like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and until next time, stay vigilant.